Hello, 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 and welcome to FPL with Old Man Phil. And if you're new or like this kind of content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you will stay updated. And today we're going to be taking a review of Game Week 7 and looking forward to the upcoming Game Week 8, which looks really exciting. So let's jump straight into the review of Game Week 7. Well, it wasn't the greatest of game weeks, and I made a couple of basic errors, but we did manage to score 45 points, and that gave us a game week rank of 2.2 mil and an overall score of 475, which is quite good. And our overall rank, we first red arrow, we went down to 94k, but still, for me at this time in the season, that is quite impressive indeed. As I said, I did make a couple of mistakes, and so we'll take a look at what those mistakes were now. Well, the first mistake that I made this week was to transfer in Alonso, and he obviously didn't play with Chilwell back. And I did that basically because I thought most people were going to transfer in Azpilicueta, and I would gain a differential by bringing in Alonso, but it didn't work out. At the back, it wasn't the greatest of scores, and Cody, Rudiger both blanked. Sanchez and White got clean sheets. In midfield, pretty much all blanks apart from Salah. Antonio 2 points, Aubameyang blanked as well, and Lukaku blanked as my captain. I made another mistake in not trusting Salah, and therefore that cost me a lot of points due to getting the captain wrong. And so, having made those errors, we have to do something now to try and put those right. I'm still not expecting to do extremely well in this game week, as a lot of people are still playing their wildcards, and they're obviously going to score a lot better than I'm going to score, having played mine already. And so basically what I'm going to do is pretty much keep the same shape of the team. And as I've said previously, I am moving towards more of a 4-3-3, but I am going to dispense with Alonso now due to the uncertainty about whether he's going to start. And I'm going to replace him with Cancelo. So at the back, we will have Cancelo, Rudiger, although I believe he's yellow flagged now, Cody and White. And then in midfield, we will have Gray, and Salah and Rafinha. Rafinha may not play because he has a late fixture in Brazil, but I have Benrahma on the bench who will cover for him if necessary. And then up front, Antonio, Lukaku and Aubameyang. Again, Lukaku also has a yellow flag, but I believe that he will probably start against Brentford at the weekend. In terms of the captain, we don't really have much of a problem when it comes to the captain for this week. We have Salah, who is my number one captain, and Liverpool have an away game at Watford, and I'm expecting Liverpool to win that quite easily. And then we have the other option is Lukaku with an away game at Brentford, but his form has been a little bit dodgy of late. I'm going to plump for Salah as captain this week and play safe. So let's take a look at who's on the watch list at the moment, and these are players that I'm very much keeping an eye on as we proceed over the coming game weeks. And at the back, Cancelo and Diaz. Trent Alexander will come back in, but I'm also keeping an eye on Cash and Livramento. Livramento has some very good fixtures coming up over the coming game weeks, and he will probably replace Williams at some point at the back. And in midfield, we're keeping an eye on Townsend. Obviously, Fernandez is still on the watch list. And we are still looking at others like Mount and Foden may well find his way into my team at some point. Other players up front that well worth keeping an eye on are Tony and Jimenez, and Ronaldo, of course, as a replacement when Lukaku's fixtures turn. So some interesting players on the watch list. So, how did I get on against the watch list team this week? Well, it was a very interesting result indeed. And if we look at the watch list team, we can see Sanchez 6, Tierney 6, and Son and Jimenez both picked up a lot of points in this game week, which meant that my first team, only scoring 45, was in a lot of trouble this week. And in fact, the watch list team scored 52, which gives them a total of 105 now. And my first team only getting 45, giving us a complete total of 104. And so I will have to be looking seriously at Son and Jimenez as options for bringing into the side over the next couple of game weeks. In terms of predicting the scores, it was a much better week this week than we had last week. Last week we only managed 3 points. Manchester United and Everton, I was disappointed by United again, only getting a 1-1 draw. I'd predicted 2-1. Burnley, Norwich I thought was going to be scoreless, but turned out to be 2-0. Chelsea conceded against Southampton, which stopped me getting a perfect score. Leeds and Watford finished 1-0 when I predicted 1-1. Wolves and Newcastle I got absolutely correct at 2-1. And Arsenal and Aubameyang let me down again at Brighton, and that finished 2-0. Crystal Palace and Leicester, again incorrect. Spurs and Aston Villa I called correctly. West Ham versus Brentford, incorrect as well. And Liverpool-Manchester City was just a correct score. And this gave us a game week total of 8 points and a running total of 57. Our average total is 8.15, and that gives us a total percentage of 40.8. So we are still on track of getting a percentage above 40%. And if you can achieve that 40% plus score, you're doing very, very well at this. And in terms of this week, again, they're all very difficult to call. I'm going to say Watford and Liverpool. Liverpool should be comfortable and win 3-1. Aston Villa, I think, will beat Wolves, surprisingly, 2-0. And Leicester, I think, will beat Manchester United 1-0. Surprise result. Manchester City, I think, will steamroll Burnley, and that will be 5-0. And I'm predicting a 1-1 between Norwich and Brighton. Southampton, I think, have enough to see off Leeds, and that will be 2-1. And Chelsea, I think, will beat Brentford, and hopefully Lukaku and Rudiger will play. Everton should beat West Ham at home, and so I'm going to say 2-1. And I'm going to think that Spurs will continue their revival and beat Newcastle 1-0. Arsenal, I believe, have enough to see off Crystal Palace, and that will end 2-1. And so that's it for this game week review and projection of game week 8. My team is selected and the scores are predicted. And let's hope that we do well in both the FPL and in the score predictor, and we manage to keep our 40% average. If you liked the video and you enjoy this kind of content, hit that subscribe button, click the bell, and don't forget to give us a big like before you leave. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and all that remains to be said is see you for the review of Game Week 8, and I will see you all there.